All right. Yes, we are live, and unlike last week, we haven't had any family emergencies to cause the show to be spontaneously canceled right after I set it up. Yesterday was the funeral, if anybody was wondering.
Be gentle.
So,
Be gentle, baby.
yeah, for those that don't know, didn't see Gary's post or my post in our community sections last week. My brother-in-law had passed away last Sunday right after I had posted the show up. So no sooner had I scheduled the show than unscheduled it.
Once again, my condolences.
Thank you. Yeah, my wife, she was really, really upset. We ended up going down and spending the rest of the evening at her mother's house and whatnot. So, anyway, just wanted to give a brief explanation on why the show got posted and then unposted the way it did last weekend. And I want to thank everybody who did leave a comment in the comment section last week expressing their condolences not the comment section. Well, yeah, no, not the comment section because I had taken the video down after the fact. But in the YouTube chat, all those out there who had left condolences, I know Mr. Knives did and a couple other people did, and I thank them for that. So, anyway, moving on to this week. Right now on the panel, we have Mr. Rob D, the New York Outcast. How are you tonight, Rob?
Doing pretty well. Sorry to hear about that. But besides that, thanks for joining us, folks, and happy Father's Day to anybody that's a father, even though you're not my father, but, happy Father's Day.
Same to you, Rob.
Same here. Thank you.
And next we have Mr. Gizzard Gary. How are you tonight, sir?
Doing pretty well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Yep. And a happy Father's Day to you, too.
Yeah, same to you. Thank you.
So, anything special happened today with either you guys for Father's Day, or I know Rob was saying.
I've been working around the house all day myself, cleaning, doing dishes, fun stuff like that. And then I got online and bought my gun. And that's excitement. My excitement was yesterday. So.
Yeah, Rob, you were saying in pre-chat you were out looking for car parts or something.
I had to wipe off her and the kitten.
Yep. Basically, got to choose whatever I wanted to do for the day. And nothing really stood out besides something I've been putting off. So went on a scavenge hunt, you could say, in a junkyard. And also on a small little hike at Lackawanna State Park in Pennsylvania.
No, you're gonna lose. You're gonna make him not have the screen
Sounds
anymore.
Fun. And here's the wife's new puppy.
Keep trying to chew through your HDMI port.
So, you look like a lab pup, but she's not. She's part Chihuahua, part Jack Russell, and part Yorkie. And she's a little handful. I thought I'd show her off, let you guys see what she looks like. Yeah, she's a little thing.
Did you hear what I just said?
This little thing. Here, go down. Go ahead. Go play with your buddy. Oops, she did it again. Oh, frozen.
Little dog now probably end up being 60, 70 pounds.
Well, if she did, she'll break a record for those breeds.
You have to feed it with a front end loader.
Yeah, but when I said, "Whoops," she did it again. For those in the pre-chat, I was telling Rob about how we had her outside and she decided to jump out of my hands and did a header and landed right on top of her head on the dirt. Well, she just did it again onto the living room floor when I went to sit her down.
Yeah, Grace comes later. Yeah.
Oh, she scared the shit out of Amy outside. She thought she hurt herself.
I need to get it a hard hat.
Really?
Hey, Faust, can we have a hat for the dog? He sent me one. Maybe he'll send the dog one too.
There you go.
I don't know. Anything interesting happened this week? I think we touched on a couple of things on your show, Gary, didn't we?
Yeah, a couple court decisions. Those were kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Today, about the only thing exciting I know of is if you're a golf fan, the U.S. Open was today.
Yay. Not really. Never really been a fan of golf. My grandmother on my father's side, though, we'd go to her house on Sunday. If she didn't have a baseball game on, a Steeler game, it was a golf.
Oh, my dad always had it on.
Sometimes tennis. And if you were really lucky, golf and tennis in the same day. Ozzy says he has a Chiefs helmet that'll probably fit the dog. Yeah, there were a couple. I noticed on Friday night when we were talking about the one that set aside the brace rule, when I gave my thoughts on that one. Basically, I said it's a win, but it's not a huge win yet until it gets to the Supreme Court. I noticed a couple people out in the chat were saying that's not going to happen. Well, real quick, let me throw out a scenario where that can exactly happen and how the Supreme Court could uphold and say that the ATF acted appropriately on this. One, and keep in mind, he wasn't supposed to win in 2020. Biden gets re-election. Through by hook or by crook, Biden gets put back in. Two, something happens to 2 of 3 justices on the right side of the court. You know, 2 of 3 conservative justices who are getting up there in age. Thomas, Roberts, and Alito. Something happens to one of them or 2 of them. Biden puts 2 more judges in. The left now has control of the Supreme Court. Considering how long it took the bump stock ban to make its way through to get to the Supreme Court, it's entirely possible that that could potentially happen. And if it does, the brace rule is going to be upheld by the court.
Hell, we could get hit by a comet tomorrow and all die, but
yeah,
let us enjoy a day or two.
I know, but you got to look realistically at this thing. But all my point was on Friday, you got to look at it realistically. It could happen.
Well, I'm going to dance as long as the band's up there playing. How about that?
Well, I'm not saying it's not a win. I'm just saying it's not as huge as what some other YouTubers are making it out to be.
Well, there's never any final win. You know that.
Mm-mm. Mm-hmm.
There will be.
Yeah, you got some YouTubers out there. I'm sure you can figure out who I'm talking about. Who posted videos like this was the biggest win in the history of the Second Amendment before the Supreme Court, and it's like,
that's what they do.
And I was just trying to temper it down a little bit.
Gloom and doom. Oh, yay, we won. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
No. Just chill your jets a little bit.
Yep, chill your jets. We ain't done yet.
Well, to be fair, that coffee might get you hyped up, you know.
Wow. Take your good news and go ahead and buy your stuff quick before it changes.
Yeah, like Ozzy said, they're still banned in Illinois. So
yeah, that's why they still have roads going out of Illinois.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're probably still banned in other states that banned them too. I think Maryland banned them. I can't remember for sure. Maryland's got all kinds of goofy laws.
Come down to the free states. Enjoy life.
Yeah. I wonder if Maryland did ban them. I wonder if it's one of those situations where you can't buy them in Maryland, but you can buy them out of state like you can with the standard capacity magazines. How stupid is that? In Maryland, if you buy a pistol, it can only come with a 10-round magazine. But if you live in Maryland, you can drive across the border into West Virginia or Pennsylvania, buy 15, 17, 18, 20, whatever round mags you want for your gun if they're available. Drive back to Maryland with them, and those magazines are legal.
That's great for commerce in your state. Hey, go buy your stuff out of state. We don't want your tax money.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't think too hard on that one, did they?
This is Maryland we're talking about here.
Yeah, the state that tried taxing rain at one point.
New York did the same thing, or attempted to, with body armor, where you can't buy it here in the state, but you can own it. So I'm not sure. I think that got changed or overturned or whatever, but that's what was being put up a while ago.
Yeah, I'm not the least bit surprised. You got the governor of New York insisting that she can fire Christians whenever she wants, based on their religious beliefs. So,
okay.
Yeah. Oh, that was her argument in court about why the case against the state of New York should be dismissed, where a couple 5 somewhere around there medical workers are suing the state for firing them because they wouldn't get the COVID shot based on their religious beliefs. So she literally said that as governor of New York, she can fire whoever she wants based on their religious beliefs, whether they like it or not. That was the defense that she put forward. I think the First Amendment would say otherwise, but maybe it's just me. And not to mention the Equal Protection Act, and there's a couple other labor laws as well that would come into play there. So
I saw that there's another big walkout in a college graduation. I guess Stanford had 400 students walk out on their graduation, holding up Palestinian flags.
Yeah. My favorite one of those was a couple weeks ago. I think it was at Columbia, where the one idiot got the piece of paper they hand you and tore it up. I guess she didn't realize that wasn't actually the diploma. For those of you who have never gone to college, when you graduate, they just hand you a blank piece of paper or the directions on how to claim your actual diploma.
True story.
They don't actually hand you the diploma itself, because that would be too much of a logistical nightmare, especially if you go to a larger college where they have thousands of students graduating at one time. So when you open that up, it'll tell you where you got to go to claim your diploma and whatnot. So basically, all that idiot would have done was tore up the directions on how to get her diploma and not actually the diploma.
So I believe Sarah's actual real diploma was mailed to her.
Yeah, mine was too.
Well, one of them.
Both of mine were.
I was gonna say, I guess when you have a master's, you get more than one diploma.
I got more than one.
Well, she walked for her associates too, so she has several diplomas.
Yeah, I got the associates and my bachelor's. Never finished my master's, so I don't have that.
Well, there's still time.
Yeah, but there's not the money. The money to do it. Anyway, I guess we should say hello to the people out there in the chat since we haven't done that yet. First was Kingpin. Which
Yeah, he snuck in right ahead of me as I was typing mine.
I wouldn't go that far, Gary. It was like 14 minutes ahead of you.
Same thing.
And then we had Ron to a Matters, Two Live Moo, Buck, Ozzy Osbourne, Mr. Bob Dabalina, Abigail, and, Chris from 740 is out there as well. Artak and Daughters.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Remember, folks, if you don't say anything, we don't know you're there. So if you're out there watching,
you can't win the big prize if we don't know you're out there.
There ain't no prize this week, Gary. Hush.
Why not?
Because I'm only at 402 subscribers. See, we got to get up to 500 before these folks have a chance to win something. So the faster we get to 500, folks, the faster y'all can win something. So spread the word. No, not a gun.
Dang it.
Something almost like a gun. It could be used as a weapon, I suppose.
Is it a hot tub?
No, it's not a hot tub. If it's not a gun, it damn sure ain't going to be a hot tub. That would cost even more.
Is it a car?
No, it's one of these.
Damn it.
That's not a car or a hot tub.
No, it's not. That's a knife. A thin black knife.
No, it's not a knife.
Well, there are a couple of other things that haven't been announced yet.
That's the letter opener.
DM Foss. Oh, this thing's sharp as hell, man.
So let me get in my cabinet behind me. I'll show you what a knife looks like.
Oh, you want to play that game?
That's a knife.
That's a knife. But this one's not available. This is not a prize. But no, the grand prize is one of them that I just showed, brand new, in the box. And there's going to be a couple other things being given away that night as well. So,
$1,000.
No, not $1,000.
Oh man!
If you add up all the prizes and their dollar values, the prize pool is totaling around $500 or so, possibly. So, I mean, there are some nice prizes, and again, a few of them courtesy of Mr. DM Foss, who's not out there in the chat right now or on the panel, even though he has a link.
You should give away some blackout coffee. I'd like that.
So would I. Well, no, my wife would, possibly. I'm not the biggest coffee drinker. And here I am, an affiliate for a coffee company.
I drink 1 cup a day generally. That's it. First thing in the morning, 1 cup, and I'm done.
Well, it's not quite a pizza cutter.
A day.
You say 3 gallons, Rob?
Yeah, something like that.
That's a lot of coffee, man.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Nah, probably. Well, I don't know. Maybe some days, but yeah, I drink like 3-4 cups just before work, and then take a cup, tall cup with me,
Rob,
and get home and drink coffee. I drink Gatorades and stuff too. Yeah, that makes it up, but
Energy
just
drinks? You
finish.
drink any energy drinks?
Yeah, maybe 6 and 10 cups a day. I mean, we're working on coffee right now after dinner coffee. One of the best ones.
Rob is going to make the Guinness Book for being the first person to have an overdose on caffeine and pass away.
Well, no, he's making me want a cup of coffee now. I could easily have one.
Now, Ozzy said he needs a
Good
holster.
for you. I mean, maybe not as much as I drink, but a few cups of coffee, I would say, is good for it.
Yeah. Ozzy says he needs a holster. Isn't he the guy that makes holsters?
I was gonna say.
Ozzy's asking, is it a holster?
And then he says, I need a holster.
There may be one that's in the prize pool.
Maybe he's got a new gun coming and he hasn't told us.
There may be a holster in the prize pool.
Yeah. Everybody wants to know if you're getting something new. What are you getting? What are you getting?
Of course.
That's the way gun guys are.
Uh-huh. Hell, man. We had the cable guy come out to install something. I forget. There might have been a security system. He saw one of my son's SKS mags, and next thing you know, we're up in the bedroom looking at my guns and
what?
SKS.
Don't tell people where your guns are, Rich. For God's sake.
Yeah.
Now everybody in the neighborhood knows what guns you have and what room they're in.
They don't know. No, they just don't.
Bringing guys up in your bedroom. You save that for
no
else. I don't need to be a part of that conversation, man.
No, there was parts of the security system that are being hooked up there.
Uh-huh.
That's where the magazine was. So. He said he needs a holster for his SIG P320 by 10. What by 10s? I mean 10-round magazine?
Oh, that's right. He's in Illinois.
Yeah.
It must suck to have 10-round magazines in a P20.
Mm.
It's like half a magazine.
Yeah. That's like putting a P365 base magazine into a P320.
You know what sucks even worse?
Oh,
those magazines aren't any cheaper. They're usually more.
No, they're not.
Oh, 10 millimeter, he says. Okay.
That's better.
But it's still only going to have a 10-round magazine.
Well, you probably only get 10. They're pretty good size. I don't know how many you can get.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their normal size magazine for a 320 10 millimeter.
Probably 10 or 12 be my guess, but I don't know. I don't own it. I'm trying to go small. See, I'm going down to 30 super carry. I'm downsizing. See, I'm going for speed and speed.
Now, or you're downsizing from one round and upsizing from another round.
Well, that's true. Going longer than well, diameter really isn't that much difference. Okay.
A happy medium between the two.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's damn sure ain't 380. It's going to cost a little more than 380, but for the ammo.
I was surprised at some of the prices lately on 7.5 or not 7.5, 5.7.
Yeah, I don't want to get into prices, but this was a good deal.
Yeah. But the 5.7 ammo, man, there have been some fairly decent prices on that lately.
$15 on a handgun, 10 rounds on rifles.
Oh, don't forget when you get that Smith & Wesson, it has the $50 rebate on it.
Yep, I know.
$250 for a Shield Plus. Can't beat that.
$250.
Yep.
Maybe might have even saved another 20 because I signed up for their notifications. So,
Ooh, so you got the discount on there too. Yeah, Rob, grab a gun. Has the 30 Super Carry Shield Pluses.
you can
For-
get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Don't be posting no links.
Nope.
And I don't know how long it's going to last because when I put it in a cart, I started getting emails saying, "Hey, this is selling out fast. You better get it done." So I don't know. Maybe they're getting close to being out. I'm interested to try it out. It's also optics ready.
Mm-hmm.
Now it does have a safety, but that's fine.
Mr. Bub says he bought a 16 plus 1 round double stack 10 millimeter magazine in Illinois. And the website for the store said that they can't sell it to in-state residents, but they can sell it to out-of-state residents.
Nice.
Ozzy's asking if the Shield Plus fits in a standard Shield magazine. I believe it does.
I don't know. Right off the top of my head, I would guess so.
Yeah, I believe it does because I believe the slide and everything are still the same dimensions. I could be wrong, but I believe that they do. If I remember right, that was one of the big selling points that they put forward. So.
But I actually went into a store and I actually held the 9mm version of it just to get an idea of the size of the frame and everything. And it's a nice size, about right on it. I think I'll like it. It's definitely something you can carry. Pretty easy.
Yeah. Well, at least Illinois isn't like Maryland. They'll take the tax money from out-of-state residents. Yeah, I have a standard Shield. I don't have the Shield Plus. I've been wanting to get one.
I think because I went to that Handgun Hero site, I can't remember if they even had a Shield Plus on there.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, they do.
Forever.
They have the 9 Shield Plus. Okay.
I'll compare that to the regular Shield, and we'll
compare that to the regular Shield. Okay, Smith and Wesson. M&P 9 Shield. There we go. Compare guns. Length is the same. Height is the same. Width is slightly wider on the Plus.
Yeah, but is that because the grip is wider?
Let's see if I can get a view. Let's see, back facing. It is wider. Okay. Is that what the Plus is for?
Well, the
Maybe.
plus is because it takes the bigger magazine.
Yeah.
It has a higher magazine capacity. It's like the P365 and the Hellcat. It's got the weird stacking in there. It's not double stack. It's not single stack, but it holds more rounds.
There, share my screen.
Oh, I didn't notice you had that up there.
So you get the Shield Plus on the left and the regular Shield
Yeah,
on
it
the
looks
right.
like the slide's a little bit wider.
Yeah, slide and a grip both.
Well, a grip was
So-
going to be a given.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, other than that, not a whole lot of difference.
Yeah, depending on the holster, it may fit.
I was hoping they had a back view because that's really the only way to know.
I think Ozzy's planning to make his own because he said he has the Shield Blue dummy gun, so he's going to be making it out of leather. You get that leather to stretch it, that might work.
Yeah, let's see if you set them over the top of each other. Yeah, you really can't tell a whole lot of difference between them, can you?
Yeah.
Dingus on the trigger, mainly.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's got the newer style trigger.
They say better stimpling as well.
Well, it's got the 2.0
Right.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know
you
it.
do have a little bit better.
Yeah, well, there is a 2.0 Shield which has the same stimpling. That looks like a Gen 1 Shield in the picture. You can tell because of the Smith & Wesson logo. It's the circle instead of the M&P. The new ones have the M&P logo. So that's a Gen 1 Shield.
I
So that's
took
why the
what they
stimpling
had
looks
on
different.
there, buddy.
I know. I'm just saying that's why the stimpling looks different. Because the new Shield would look just like the stimpling on the Shield Plus.
You do have a little bit of serration up on the front of the slides. You could
Yep,
grab
you would
that.
have that on the Shield too, on the 2.0s. So that's another way you can tell. But see how the Plus has the M&P logo down there at the bottom, and the Shield has the Smith & Wesson logo. That's how you can tell a Gen 1 from a Gen 2 on the M&Ps.
Anyway, interesting to look at.
I should say it's one way you can tell. There's a couple others. Again, the stippling, the grip texture, and then the slide serrations, or the pseudo slide serration, shall we say, on the front on the 2.0s.
Right.
I got a 2.0 compact, and those are next to useless. They're not the best front slide serration, shall we say. Not a whole lot of area there to grip on them.
No, there's not. But if I have an optic on there, I won't even worry about that because I can just bounce off the front of the optic.
Mm-hmm. You want to be careful depending on what optic it is doing that.
Well, I know at least the Hollow Sun I bought is set pretty well back from the edge of the bezel. So now I'm not one of these people who are going to take a brand new gun and try to prove a point by going out onto a wooden rack where they're shooting and let's just rack the slide over and over, off this wood.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see if this slide will hold up. It's like, what? Who the hell does this in the first place? I saw people with that O-sight. They're doing review videos and trying to break it, and that's what they did. They did that about 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
And, wonder why it wore most of the paint off of it and jiggled the optic a little bit. It's not meant for that.
No. Hey, this is junk. We scratched all the paint off of it.
Well, you could be able to rack it by side. Sure, in an emergency, once or twice, but not 100 times.
Right. It's not intended for that. Good Lord, if you want something you can rack the slide 100 times, get one of those goddamn rings and put it on the back of your slide. What was that, Tandem Cross or somebody that makes those?
Yeah, they have one for the TX22. And it seems like somebody else had one for something else. Yeah. Chris said, I saw a dumbass break his gun while abusing the O-side. Serves him right.
Uh-huh. Now, O-Sight, I'm guessing that's from Olight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they introduced it at NRAM.
I haven't seen it, so.
It's an interesting looking site. I'm still waiting for some more reviews to come in from maybe some of the less biased people out there that I trust that actually give it a good review. There's nothing wrong with buying guns from Rural King. My Ruger LCR I bought at Orchula's, which is a farm store, just like that. So a lot of times they have good deals on stuff.
Yeah, we don't have any stores that are farm stores like that sell firearms.
Shop all the stores and see if any of them got sales going on. You'd be surprised sometimes.
Most of my guns came from my mom and pop shops around here.
Yeah, I have to drive half an hour to get to a real FFL I can walk into.
My Vepr 12, I got that from Classic.
Well, I like Chris's comment. Absolutely.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And if you have to pay for it yourself on top of that, I mean, if it's not a review sample that's sent to you, do you really want to break it? I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't want to break something I had to pay for. No.
That's true.
I mean, I might be more inclined to try something like that with something that was sent to me as a review sample if the manufacturer doesn't mind me doing so. But
some of these channels, I swear, it's just their thing. They have to try and break everything they got just to prove a point.
Well, and then you got Military Arms Channel where everything just naturally breaks on Tim because apparently he makes everything fall apart when he touches it.
I mean, mount the thing properly, put it through its paces like a normal person would, shoot 200 or 300 rounds of ammo through it. Is it still holding zero? Yeah, you're in pretty good shape, probably.
I don't think Tim's had anything break on any of his videos lately, has he?
I haven't watched any of his videos lately.
He's had a couple of good ones.
After he went through that spat of break and everything, I think I may have pretty much unsubscribed. Nice picture, Moo.
Yep.
Hey, thanks. That's my dad. Yesterday.
that was your yesterday? Dad yesterday? Wow.
Wow, man. He looks pretty good for being in his
good,
80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks like the camera's in its 80s too, but you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a good conversation today, so. Doing good.
Now,
yeah.
If you take a picture of an 80-year-old with a 60-year-old camera, do they look like they're in their 20s?
And all the riffraffs coming in now.
Uh-huh.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yep.
Happy Father's Day, guys.
Thanks. Same to you.
Back at all of you.
Yeah. There you go, Gary. That's a good picture, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was saying goodbye to my boy. He surprised me for the weekend for Father's Day, and he lives 3 hours away, so he just hit the road to head back home. So I said, all right, I'll jump on.
Good kid.
Good kid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did he ask you for money?
I asked him for money since
How'd that work out for you?
he says no. He just wanted a bunch of food to go home.
Still a good deal.
Kids are good for that.
Hey, my kid brought me food today. So
shoot, I was a grown man, 30, 35 years old. I'd still go to my mom's house. The first thing I'd do is go look in the fridge and see if there's anything to eat. That, she always had food that was better than mine. So
yeah.
oh, my daughter walks in the front door with a chicken basket from Dairy Queen and a Blizzard. So, yeah, okay.
What kind of Blizzard?
It was the chocolate pecan truffle.
It used to be Heath Bar.
What did I get?
Heath Bar's better. Just saying.
Yeah. I don't remember what I got.
My go-to is usually the Royal Strawberry Cheesecake one. That is really good.
Of course, I've been going to Brahms lately to get ice cream. They got some good stuff.
Jason Stewart out there in the chat. Evening, Jason.
Oh, peanut butter parfait. That's what I used to get.
That's usually what my oldest gets. She loves those things. So does my wife. They both.
I haven't had one of those in about 30 years.
Oh, yeah, Dairy Queen. It's within walking distance. But the Dairy Queen chicken basket's worth it just for the dang gravy and things.
Oh, yeah. I always ask for an extra gravy.
Uh-huh. Great on fries. Their gravy is great on their French fries.
Yes, it is. Okay, 1714.
And Gabriel out there in the chat. Even to you too, sir. And to all the fathers out there in the chat, happy Father's Day to all you as well. Don't want to leave you guys out.
Chris from the 740 and Jay Stewart.
There's a better picture of my dad.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know why they all wore their hats cocked off to one side like
Because
that.
they're gangster, man.
I guess.
Because that's the way the uniform code tells you have to wear.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured as much. But
I don't know. I never understood why.
poor guy was 21 years old. Wow.
Another good Blizzard that I wish they would bring back was the banana pudding one. That was really good. You had pieces of vanilla wafer in there.
Sarah's Butterfinger.
That's not bad. The Butterfinger one. I'll tell you what, that chocolate
Oreo's
pecan turtle was pretty good. Big pieces of whole pecans in there. Good. First time I had that one.
Yeah, you got me wanting ice cream. I just had ice cream. Well, I did Friday. Friday was my official Father's Day because I didn't get to spend Saturday or Sunday with my kids. So Sarah had to work today.
Chris apparently spent the day at the range. So he put 350 rounds through one of his guns today.
Well, that's a good day. 350 rounds is a good day. It's an awful lot of shooting.
Uh-huh.
But you'd be surprised how fast you can burn through 350 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you got a lot of mags.
Or a lot of guns.
Well, I mean, a lot of what takes time is if you only have 2 or 3 mags, you spend as much time loading mags as you do shooting. So,
Uh-huh.
unless you got somebody to load your mags for you.
Uh-huh.
But you know, some of my guns I have half a dozen mags for. I can burn through it pretty quick, man.
I don't know where my AR-15 mags are. I don't know what my wife did with me.
You know where all my guns are, but I don't know where the mags are.
I have no idea what she did with my magazines. I can't find the damn things.
I know where mine are at.
I know where they were.
I always like being at the range with one of my cousins, and they'll want to shoot one of my guns. I'm like, oh yeah, there's an extra mag here, load it up. And then I was like, how many do you get in there? And they'll be like, I'm not sure. So I'm like, here, let me see. And then I just slap it in the gun, shoot it. And they're like, oh,
round
yeah,
mags, gee.
you might want to go load another one.
$350 of 45. Wow, that's some money.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's 45 with 8-round mags. Yeah, that went real quick. Eight-round mags, that's a lot of reloading.
Unless you got a lot of 8-round mags.
Mm.
I think I own 3. Well, mine are 10-round mags. 45.
I think I might have about 30 of them.
Yeah, you probably do. You got about
Yeah.
that many guns.
8-round mag. I'm trying to think, do I have an 8-round mag? Yeah, I think my Shield EZ is an 8-round. That's the only 8-round mag I own for anything.
Did you just call your
No.
Shield EZ an AR?
No. 8-round mag, I said.
Yeah.
It uses an 8-round magazine. Oh, I take that back. My dang, now I can't remember if my Vepr 12 is 10 or 8-round magazines. I think I got the 8 for that, but that's a shotgun. That doesn't count. It's not a handgun. Yeah, the only 8-round handgun magazines I have are Shield EZs. Well, I guess if you want to get super technical, the cylinder on a revolver is a magazine of sorts. So my 627 would have an 8-round.
Oh, listen to this now.
What about moon clips? I got a bunch of those loaded.
Well, those are clips, not magazines.
You swap them out about as fast if you're good. Maybe even faster. Depends on how fast you get the spent shells out.
I was showing my son today my patch panel, or he was pointing some stuff out, and he goes, "What's that banana one?" I go, "That's a banana clip." He goes, "Dad, it's a magazine." I go, "No, that's the funny part." I go, "Look above it." He goes, that paper clip one. He goes, "What's that?" I go, "That's stripper clip." he was laughing.
Clipazine.
Mm-hmm.
Jason said it's a rotating clip. I guess he was talking about the moon clip.
I've never shot anything with a moon clip.
They're a bitch to load.
Weak hands.
No, the ones on my 627, they are so stiff. You can't get you're gonna get a couple rounds in there. It's ridiculous how hard it is to get 357 rounds into that thing.
You heard it here first, folks. Rich White doesn't like things that are hard or stiff.
He's got a sore elbow.
Trouble getting it in the
Yeah.
hole.
Old wee hockey injury, you know.
Yeah, there you go, Rob. I got a pink one. I got several. Let's see. Pink one.
I think I saved myself an orange one.
I don't have any of them.
This G sent me about half a dozen. I picked out my favorite and I gave the rest away. I'm sorry. Got to take care of number one, man.
I had like 2, but I think I gifted one away.
Deb Moo's dad was happy when he got his photo taken.
Yeah, because he's in the Air Force.
Oh, that's why.
His brother had to go to the Army.
Well, my dad told me a story when he was in the recruiter station after he was drafted that they were asking people ahead of him, do you want to go into the Army or the Navy? And, everybody was saying Navy, so they were splitting them off, Army this way and Navy the other. They got to him and he says, I want Navy. And they said, well, we got our allotment for the day. You're going to have to go into the Army. He tried not to.
Yeah, his brother got drafted. My dad enlisted before he got drafted. So
Third Armored Division.
My stepfather's dad was in the Marine Corps. He was a Sea Marine or whatever they call it.
Seaman?
No, not a seaman. He was a Marine that was on a boat.
Oh, Aquamarine.
Yeah, whatever they call it. but something along those lines, I forget. If Ghost were here, he'd be screaming right now.
I know it.
If Ghost was here, he'd be making fun of your wee hockey elbow.
Gary already did.
I was going to say.
I know.
We don't have to wait for Ghost to get here.
Anyway, he was on a destroyer. And his battle station was one of the 50 cals that was set up as an anti-aircraft gun. And he was in the Atlantic, a scout plane or something came flying overhead, dove on the boat, opened up with his machine guns, and he got his finger blown off.
Oops. Yeah, Dad, he was a airplane mechanic. He worked on the B-47 and the F-4 Phantom.
But
Dad was in a tank crew, and then later on in the war ended up actually being a tank commander.
Tankers.
Yep.
on what, Sherman's?
Yeah.
My stepdad's father insisted that it was a Messerschmitt equipped with flotation devices. There's never any actual proof that they made those. There's only plans possibly for one whenever they got their aircraft carrier, which they never built in service. So more than likely it was a scout plane. They did have scout planes with pontoons on them. You know, how many Marines in World War II were going to be able to identify exactly what plane was attacking them anyway? They weren't trained for that, you know. And maybe the pilots that were flying the Marine fighters in the Pacific, but you know, Marines in the Atlantic, they more than likely weren't going to be given a chart with aircraft recognition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know when it was put in place, but long time ago, they've had silhouettes, basically, of aircraft, tanks, things like that, where for identification purposes. They're also past the children, and Kim's game was encouraged to, you know, help people's recollection of things as well on descriptions, because a lot of times people didn't know what they seen. As you're stating, so it was ways to describe it. It's kind of a fun thing, Kim's game. So something I don't know. I'd encourage anybody to look into, so you can have fun with it.
And you got to remember too, as things progressed and you know, planes started looking more and more alike when at the distances and heights that they were starting to be able to fly at, especially with the jet age. You had to have some way of being able to recognize whether, even if just looking up, if you were on the ground with an anti-aircraft battery or something. Yep, that's one of theirs. Shoot it. You know. back in World War II, they told you to look for the insignia on the planes a lot of the times, and if it's the wrong one, shoot it. Or if it's shooting at you, shoot it.
I don't think they shot at a lot of planes from them tanks.
No, they had the 50 cal on there, which was nominally for that purpose, but I don't think there was a lot of them that were shot down by that.
That's why you had infantry around there to take care of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't send a tank out without a bunch of infantry walking right next to it. So.
Not if you were smart.
Unless you lost them all, which happened.
Yeah.
Dad told me, he said, yeah, that'd happen. You'd have them next to you. All of a sudden, they'd all be gone. You'd have to wait a few minutes, and then another bunch would come in and take their place. But
being in a scout tank had to have been nerve-wracking because you were out there all by yourself. Maybe one or two other scout tanks with you if you were lucky.
There's one battle he was in. There was a bunch of tanks in it, and him and one other tank were the only two that made it out. They pretty much got wiped.
Yeah, that would happen at times, especially in like.
Happens when you have an idiot leader who sends you in, without cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched that movie Fury about a month ago for the first time.
Yeah, I heard good things about it, but I haven't seen it yet. But it's supposed to be fairly accurate as to what tank warfare would actually be like.
It's pretty good.
I watched it a while ago. I thought it was good as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't envy, especially the older tank crews, but tank crews in general, I guess modern tanks are a lot better. There's distance. You can hit things before they even know you're there in some cases. Plus some of the stealth where the signatures are completely changed. I mean, the technology's come a long way in some cases, but the old stuff, oh gosh, it's like sitting on a freaking bomb. It's basically, anything gets in there, you're screwed. And you're a big ass target. So, I mean, a tank's great if you're against a couple rednecks in a cabin or something, but you know what I mean? When you're going against an actual army with infantry, everything, especially in the old days, you barely see anything. This is pre-cameras, all that type of shit. The heat in those things, it's like a freaking coffin you're driving around in. I'm sure it probably felt like that at times.
Mm-hmm.
And cramped quarters. I mean, it's tight quarters in those things, and they're not the most comfortable. Most tankers are like they're under 6 feet. It's 5 feet something. They try to do a cutoff. So
yeah, modern tanks, you tend to have a little more room in them depending on which tank you're talking about. And get this, the British Challenger 2 and the German Leopard 2 are air conditioned.
Yeah, I wonder how well it works, but yeah, I mean, the technology's helped for sure, but and the distance as well, I think is a good thing. Being able to get a further distance. So
you want to see about what Rob was talking about how cramped some of the tanks were during World War II? Watch the Chieftains channel. He's a tanker or former tanker in the Army. He's now a desk jockey. He got promoted to lieutenant colonel and rides a desk now. But he was an active tanker. He also, after being a tanker, was a commander on a Bradley, and then commanded a Bradley platoon. And he goes around and he does videos on various different like World War II tanks, stuff that are in museums. Some of those tanks were fairly large inside, but then you have ones where it looked like from the outside they would have plenty of room inside, and they are the most cramped things you could imagine being inside because the way everything was poorly done inside. Some of the German tanks in particular that are bad for that.
When you think about it, in a way, it's similar like a Humvee. I mean, I assume you guys have seen like the military version. Like your feet got like a little cubby to pop in. You know,
Mhm.
like the middle's like a big deck, kind of. Like they're
Uh-huh.
not the most. They're a big, wide vehicle, but you individual do not have a lot of space, and then
No,
you
you
can't
don't.
take your gear and whatnot with you. That's a tight fit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a much tighter fit than saying an Abrams. And Abrams has actually surprisingly has a fairly decent amount of room in it. I was surprised when I was climbing through an Abrams how much room it had. And the driver's seat in those things, man. It's a far cry from what you see in some of the World War II tanks. That driver's seat in the Abrams is comfy. .223 DMR says strikers are cramped. Yeah, especially depending on what one you're in. Let's see who else. We had some more people join. 223 DMR. Obviously, just joined. Vanessa Kitty's out there. Krabby Turtle. So, anyone else joining in that I missed earlier? No, I think that's all. I think we're caught up. Vanessa's saying it's going to be 100 degrees in Connecticut tomorrow. Holy hell.
Talking 90s here, like 93, 94 this next few days. So
Wow.
it's gonna be hot, man. Like, that's it's on the warm side for sure.
Yeah. I don't know what the temperature was here today. It wasn't that hot. It was fairly comfortable out today.
It got up to 90 today here. It's 84 now.
So I went to Kalahari water park or whatever, indoor water park, last weekend. Shit, I'm thinking maybe I might have to go back again this week, because but really it's hot in there too, but at least it's humid, but at least you can play in water.
It's supposed to be in the 90s all week here, with thunderstorms possible all week long. Just looked at the forecast. 75 out right now. It's about where it's been all day. Mid to upper 70s.
And lower mid 80s with a breeze is okay. But once you start getting in like 90 with direct sun, 90 plus, that's where it starts pushing things, my opinion.
Oh, I've been there, Vanessa, taking a shower out of an ice cold well. On a hot day, that feels so good. Now, on a cold day, it feels like hell. But you get a 90-some degree day, and you got the well where you got a shower set up outside. You can go shower off, not naked, buddy, but wearing bathing suit, what have you. Get underneath that cold water. Oh, it feels good.
What's wrong with naked?
Neighbors.
Yeah, so you got a little privacy thing set up around it. Come on.
Just turn your back to them. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Once in a while you got to go native. It sparks, like, ground you to the earth, and sparks your soul to the sky or something along those lines.
And as Lady Gaga said, you were born this way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know, then that's because you haven't tried it. I mean, don't get yourself in trouble, run around your neighborhood streaking or nothing. But
don't be out by the mailbox, doing gyrations or anything.
Uh-huh.
Hey, don't be afraid to sleep naked. As long as you got a gun next to you, you're okay.
When it's hot, I do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yes, sir.
last thing a home invader wants to do is wrestle with a naked guy.
That's right.
Right.
Naked man with a gun is like, I can't holster it.
Mhm.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but when it's hot out, I sit in the hot tub. It's because when you get out, you're wet and the air is colder than the hot tub, so it feels good.
Mhm.
Wow. I never thought of that, really.
Yeah, because even if it's cold out, when you're sitting in 104 degree water or 103 ish, you're 103.
Yeah. Winter time, even outside in a hot tub's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's coming and going's a little whatever, but if
Mhm.
you got a couple drinks, you're good. Yeah, just be quick.
Yeah. Don't be too quick on the ice, though.
Yeah. But yeah. Obviously be careful getting in, but yeah, no, that's comfortable. But real hot weather, I don't know if I've tried that like that. So
Yeah. Well,
I was in a nice one last weekend, indoor, outdoor. It's one of those ones where it goes, inside a building and outside a building. So you
Yeah.
can go back and forth. It was pretty nice. Big. God, hot tub.
Ashley A has jumped in out there in the YouTube side, so evening to her.
It's way too big for that naked. There's no such thing as being too big to be naked.
We gotta be naked at least some part of the day.
Yeah, just make sure your blinds are closed.
Oh yeah.
Seriously,
naked right now.
But if you live on the third floor of an apartment building and there's no big buildings near you, you don't have to worry about blinds either. It's like, unless somebody's got a drone out there with a camera, I'm in good shape. And if they do, then that's their fault for sticking drones up in here.
Meddling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is get up in the morning, go make coffee, and then notice through the window that the neighbor's kid's staring at you. That would be bad.
Yeah.
Even though you're in your house, that's still bad.
Yeah, I know a guy that he wasn't trying to be covert about it. He was standing in front of his sliding glass door and overlooking the courtyard in his apartment. Got the cops called on him.
Yeah, not good.
It's
No.
funny though. There was a time a few years ago where I would take my walks in the morning. I'd get up at 5:30 in the morning and go take a walk through the neighborhood. It's amazing how many people have no curtains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't think you can see right into people's houses.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's the same with people in cars. Like, I don't know if you notice, but you sit in traffic, look around, like at least once a day, you'll see somebody picking their nose like they're invisible. Yeah. Like, it's the
Mhm.
craziest thing. Like, it's nasty. You're adults, man. Like, we all get an itch or whatever. Keep some tissues in there. But I've seen people like knuckle deep up in there and like their own world. You're thinking like, damn,
Oh, yeah. It's like a
they
force.
look like a decent person. They're probably going to get somewhere, maybe shake somebody's hand, touch doorknobs, all this type of shit. Like, what a dirtbag, So that's horrible. It's horrible.
In my former life, I was on the road quite a bit, and Barbecue will attest to this. I'm sure he's seen some mischief going on in some cars. I've seen it several times, if you know what I mean.
Well, truck drivers can look
few
down and
times.
see just about anything from a cab. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
I try to mess around when I'm passing a truck with a lady in a car. reach your hand over by her crotch, and then she fights back, and she's like, "No, because she knows what I'm doing." Like I did it today. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
The fence dad is saying that you're just trying to deflect that you're the one out there that's picking your nose, Rob.
No, I actually keep tissues in the glove box. So I mean, it's just sad to see is like grown, what you would consider put together people just in their own bubble, not realizing like you're 4, 5, 6 feet away from them. Just
That reminds me of an old saying: "Whoever flicked it, picked it."
Mm-hmm.
It's like making fun of somebody who farts in their car. It's like, I'm in my car, I'll fart when I want to. Don't come near me when I open the car door if you're worried about it.
I don't think you see a fart, but you definitely
You
see
might
a dude
smell it,
across
though.
the intersection, nose, knuckle deep or whatever.
Oh, I've seen people putting on their makeup, driving down the road. Oh, you see that all the time.
Yep, makeup.
Cell
eating a
phone right
bug.
in front of them,
Yeah. Vanessa, I can see the one Vanessa said happening. You guys,
That's
it's on the
what I was
screen for
referring.
yourselves.
That's what I was referring to. I could only probably identify only one face.
Yeah. But in New York City, I could definitely see that happening too. In the middle of a traffic jam.
So you're saying that was the head car in line?
That's right.
Apparently so.
Well, maybe the guy just had ashes on his lap, and the girl was trying to blow him off.
Yep. That's 100% what happened there.
And it's just the timing where you pass, it just didn't look right. You know what I mean?
Honest, Your Honor, I was just getting
I
rid
don't
of
know.
those
I mean, quite often I will just set my drink in my lap. So I mean, like if my lady was thirsty or something, she might just lean over and take a drink. I hate when they do that though, because like ask first. Like I specifically said, "Do you want to drink at this convenience store before we hit the interstate?" You said no. Like this is mine now. 5 minutes later, what happens? Can I have a drink?
Well, the important part we missed about Vanessa's post there was in her prior post, she did say she had her nephews in the truck at the same time.
Wow.
I get the kids got a lesson, I guess.
Did they take notes? Should have gone up and interviewed the guy. Said, "All right, how did you make this happen?" Then pulled out pen and paper, and which probably would have made them just like, "Oh, well, this is awkward now." And they're like, "You're welcome."
Chances are, if her nephews have cell phones, they've seen worse.
So the conversation dies at Roadhead, huh?
Well, apparently, well, how do you top that?
Everybody's reminiscing.
Well,
Gonna say that's kind of hard to beat, isn't it?
No.
Wait, Rob's got a story.
Depends on how long your legs are. I mean, you can set the cruise control, try to see it all the way back.
They got these self-driving cars now. I mean, you could go to town literally while you're going to town.
Who needs a self-driving car for that? Live on the wild side. Be dangerous.
Dangerous is on a motorcycle.
Never tried it on the motorcycle while moving.
Well, I mean, it would be fairly dangerous with a car too. I mean, we've seen Parenthood or The World According to Garp.
The hell are those?
You've never seen Parenthood or The World According to Garp?
Come on,
The
even I've
movie.
seen those movies.
No,
Both of them.
can't say I have.
Yeah, we lost
What'd
Moo.
you do to Moo? Oh, he's got to
Hey.
jump out. Okay.
Uh-oh. He short-circuited. He's like, what?
He's got something to go do now.
Hey, honey, you want to go for a drive? I think the guy in what the world according to Garp got the worse end of the deal than Steve Martin did in Parenthood, though. Steve Martin just wrecked the car. The other guy, severe emotional trauma, shall we say. As well as physical.
Well, I don't know, man. I think, obviously it could be a thing, but I think it's kind of better to relax, It's hard to relax on the road like that.
Well, in the world according to Garp, the guy, they were parked. They just got rear-ended.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, an angry Robin Williams pulls in right behind them and just rams the rear end of the car. If you want to know why he was angry, you got to watch the movie.
I mean, it's obvious he was jealous.
You should just stream it right now while we're on here.
I don't want to get the stream taken down like Jason Stewart.
As long as it's not Emmett Otter, you're probably fine.
Yeah, I can't quit yawning.
You get some sleep, man. Of course, I
Stays up partying all night.
I was on DM Foss's late night. I didn't get to bed until 3 o'clock this morning. So, yeah, it may have been 11:15 when I woke up, but I got my 8 hours sleep, by golly. It's Father's Day. I'm sleeping in.
I didn't have that luxury. I had to fix my ex's car.
You fixed it real good, right? Those brake lines.
If my kids didn't ride in it, maybe.
Well, Ashley's heading out, says she's going for a drive soon. All right. Have a good one, Ashley.
See ya.
Have fun. Don't do anything that we were just talking about doing.
No. Especially if you're the one driving. That certainly wouldn't be good.
See, I was
Oh, so
taking
you-
high road here, but
You also should not
Have a good time, actually.
never drive with scissors either.
Unless you're in a Star Wars movie, because apparently that's how they create the Force now.
wait, the spoiler for everybody now, Rich.
Hell, it's 3 episodes in. If you haven't gotten that, if you've been haven't watched The Acolyte yet and seen that shit, you
I
consider
ain't
yourself
watching
lucky.
that horse shit.
I ain't either. That's why I watch YouTube videos where somebody else watches it, so I don't have to. Oh, you don't
Watch
want to know.
videos
Somebody just knocked
about
a
a
shoebox
show.
down.
Yep, so I don't have to.
That's still like watching a show.
No, it's not. You're watching the show where people are making fun of the show they watch.
Yeah, but it's still they're highlighting the show that you don't want to watch.
Yes, and we're all laughing at it. There's a difference.
Oh, damn,
I'm not
fuck.
actually watching the horse shit
That's
that
like
they're.
buying Bud Light to shoot it. You're
No,
still
no.
buying it.
No. Because I'm not actually watching the show. I'm watching some people who tortured themselves by watching the show.
Right. But it's still entertainment based on the show that you refuse to watch. So I disagree with you.
That's nice, but that's not. I've not watched the show.
That's about like watching a video where people are discussing Ice Ice Baby and then saying you've never listened to Ice Ice Baby.
It's a
Right.
Well,
great
in
song.
fairness, I've been on the
Got
panel
a
where
point.
people were talking about Ice Ice Baby, and
No, really? When was that?
I lost count. It's
Rich,
happened quite a few times.
baby.
It may happen again soon. Maybe even August. Just saying.
Oh snap! Can we superimpose Rich's face onto Vanilla Ice, and then change the chorus to Rich White Baby?
If you go back, check out the music videos back in the day. Rich was on the train, man.
Yeah, not quite.
The Soul Train?
No, Rich is just one of the Lost Village people.
No.
He was in the videos. He worked for the guy, backup dancer.
Dude, I didn't go to high school dances, let alone go dance in some asshole's music video.
If there's money in it, you woulda.
Yeah,
No.
the proof's on MTV or was.
No,
It's on YouTube now.
I don't like dancing. I never went to high school dances or anything. But the only time I've went to a high school dance, I was working the concessions area. That's it. You wouldn't get me out on the floor.
And by the concessions area, he means Glory Hole.
No, I mean where we were selling popcorn and stuff like that.
So, like, growing up in school and shit, you didn't do the dances?
No, I didn't even go to my high school prom. I blew it off. I did not give a shit.
So, did you have a girlfriend growing up?
Well, by the time my senior prom rolled around, my girlfriend had been killed in an automobile accident. So at that point, I didn't.
Okay, what about prior? Like middle school?
We didn't have middle school dances.
Really?
Yep.
We did.
Yeah.
And roller skating parties too. Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, we had roller skating parties, but we didn't have actual dances. In
There's
middle
always a couple skate. You know, yeah.
'Cause most people at least did the slow dances with the girls, you know.
Yeah,
They
because
might
you don't
not
really
be
have to know how to
dangerous.
dance to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, you're hugging out a girl, so
Right.
you know.
Right.
Okay. First, Defense Dad, nice Bob Seger reference, and yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I was not into the whole dancing thing.
Well, you barbecue.
What's that? Huh?
With the dances. Did you go?
I go to them just to hang out with friends. Honestly, like we had the 6th grade dance, then there was a couple in 7th and 8th grade. Then when I got to high school, there was nothing. There was a quote unquote homecoming dance, which is just a way to troll underclassmen that had no idea that there wasn't actually a homecoming dance, which was amazing because there'd always be like these 9th grade girls like, we got to go get dressed. And they would go get dresses and all this other stuff. And then like after all this money spent, then they find out there's not actually a homecoming dance.
That's cruel, man.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why. So, I mean, really, the only thing there was junior and senior prom. I guess there's a homecoming dance that's legit now, but when I was in school, no, nothing like that existed.
Yeah, we had homecoming dance, but
Oh yeah.
I never went to one. Homecoming dance, for some reason, was always the same night as Light Up Night in Pittsburgh, which is when the official start of the holiday season. So there was always a big thing going on downtown Pittsburgh, and me and my friends always went to that. You know, the
No
one
school spirit.
it was more fun. None of us were into dancing. We would go to the homecoming rally. We didn't go to the homecoming dance.
Dude, it's about
No,
the
it-
girl. It's not about the dancing. You're just
Rob.
We took our girlfriends with us.
Rob,
They
just
would. They'd
read between the
rather. They
lines
all
here.
rather go to the Light Up Night celebration too.
There's just a bunch of guys that wanted to ride around in a car together.
If you go stag do a dance, you get to dance with everybody else.
Okay, I get it.
See how that
I
works.
get it.
You always break up with your girlfriend right before the dance. So you get
Light
to
Up Night
dance
was
with
more fun.
everybody's dates.
'Cause there was all kinds of stuff going on. There was like free concerts and stuff you could go
I
to.
feel like we know why Gizzard might have so many ex-wives.
Why?
Mhm.
I didn't have any when I was in high school.
Gary's like, hey, there's a dance coming up. I want a divorce.
I never went with anybody while I was in school anyway.
The
I never
only-
dated till I got out of high school.
The only thing I went to in high school that could be even considered close to a so-called high school dance would have been the military ball, but that's because that was also our awards thing for the year for the junior RTC department. And it was a big dinner and everything. Other than that, I just didn't do dances. I never got into that whole thing.
Well, you wasn't any fun.
I had other things I thought were fun. I didn't think dancing was fun.
It can lead to fun.
Well, there's other things that can too.
What, like Star Wars?
Not this new generation. Jesus Christ. Rob's obviously never seen Leia in her slave outfit.
No. No, hasn't been my thing. Not the Star Wars stuff.
Shaw says dancing isn't fun. Slow dancing is fun. That'll be the only type of dancing I've ever actually done was slow dancing. And even working concessions, there would be somebody, hey, come on, let's do one slow dance. I was like, I tried to, no, come on, you're going to do one.
I feel like Rick probably has a high score on Dance Dance Revolution at some strip mall.
Probably.
I've never played that game in my life. I always thought that was one of the stupidest things.
Probably danced to Ice Ice Baby. And then he was singing his own song the whole time, going, Rich White Baby.
My defense test said after middle school, he was always working on the weekends. He wasn't taking a Friday or Saturday night off for a stupid dance. Just went out and got drunk after work.
I don't know. You guys missed out.
Nessa said she would do extra duty so she didn't have to go to the ball.
I got kicked in the nuts really hard at a dance one time.
What did you do?
Nothing. That was the weird part.
That's why he got kicked in the balls, because he didn't
I
do
didn't
anything.
even know who this girl was. Some girl walked up to me, asked me if I was me, and I said yeah, and she kicked me as hard as she could right in the balls. It was horrible. It was horrible. Like people came to help me, like strangers and everything. It was amazing. Like I thought I was a girl. It completely ruined my night.
You pissed
And
somebody off who knew somebody who knew
worst part
somebody who
is,
knew this
I
girl.
don't even know what the hell it was about. Nothing. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
what the
girls are
fuck?
like that, dude. You piss a girl off, and then she tells one of her friends, and then she tells one of her friends, and then she tells one of her friends, and then one of her friends is kicking you in the dick.
Yeah, but I don't really piss girls off like that.
Apparently, you did. You just don't know who.
I guess so. It was probably the hardest kick in the balls I've ever had because I'd never seen it coming. You know, didn't try to defend it, step to the side, nothing. Yeah, just stood there and took it.
And then he went down.
Mm-hmm. It's like, why was I so stupid to just stand?
Yes, I did. So now I'm just naturally.
Next dance, he wore a cup, by God.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm just naturally nervous when somebody asks me if I'm me. You know, I'm like, oh, why? Who's asking? Like,
What, do you want to kick me in the nuts?
See, what Rob isn't saying is for his senior prom the next year, he got on the decorations committee and convinced everybody that they should do a medieval fair for their prom theme, and he wore a suit of armor to the dance. Yeah, metal codpiece and the whole getup. Yeah, let her see her kicking in nuts this year. Is that what happened, Rob? Huh? Be honest.
nope.
No? You sure?
Mm-hmm. No.
You might have missed an opportunity. Some of those low-cut medieval dresses, man. I'll tell you what. See them in the movies. You know, couldn't show ankle, but damn, could they show cleavage in those old those old dresses. Finstad talking about how he made 40 grand a year, junior and senior year in high school. God, I probably made 20 grand for work just over summer, working for the city as a lifeguard. Paid good money.
Yeah, I made money as a kid, but I don't know how much. Wasn't really paying attention. Just doing stupid stuff like taking, my girlfriend to the movies, buying people snacks at lunch, all types of shit. Like, kid shit. But I'm talking as a kid.
Yeah. I was hoping that I could have got on as one of the city lifeguards at one of the indoor pools because those things were open all year round. Not just 3 months. But, no. Never got that job.
So you liked driving around with your buddies in cars, and now you like giving strangers mouth to mouth.
I bet you like going skiing too.
Definitely a pattern here.
Being a lifeguard was an easy job. Easy. Never had to save anybody from drowning. Not once.
Yeah, they were all willing, weren't they?
Summers, nobody didn't have to save anybody. Just sat there on the little chair, make sure nobody was running or pushing people dangerously into the pool or anything stupid that was against the rules. It was like being more of a hallway monitor than a lifesaver, to be honest.
See, a straight guy would have been like just sitting in a chair, watching the ladies all day, enjoying the breeze.
Well,
What
yeah,
more
I mean,
could you want?
that was the perks of the job. I was saying what the actual duties of the job were. You know,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's lifeguard stories that people don't tell. They all want it to be like Baywatch or make everybody believe that, but I'm betting there was always that like goofy girl that had a crush on you that fakes drowning every week. Yeah. There's probably a lot of weird stories. The
yeah.
old
Steady, I
guy
didn't have any.
that's got the little shorts and always needs help or something. Yeah. I don't know. Kind of like gynecology. Bet a lot of people think that's a good job. I bet you that'll ruin it for you.
Fuss didn't have to save anyone. No, but there was nobody drowning or anything. We didn't have a bunch of idiots that didn't know how to swim jumping into the deep end. Like one of the city pools where one of the guys I knew that was a lifeguard, one of the other pools was saying they had some idiot do. Didn't know how to swim, so decided to jump into the deep end.
Rob, do you know what the difference between a newborn puppy and a nearsighted gynecologist is? Or what they have in common?
No, what?
Both have wet noses.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just glad I didn't get put into, signed to the pool that was in the projects. Man, there was all kinds of horror stories that came out of that.
And like, how would you describe the people in the projects exactly?
Oh no, I'm not talking because of what you're insinuating.
Like,
No, there was a lot of like drug dealing and shit that was going on at the pool in that. In the
well, that'd be a
area
good
of
way to
the
describe
pool.
them. Drug dealers.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
were you alluding to there, Rich?
Bunch of drug dealers and shit like that going on. Some people got busted for prostitution, trying to solicit prostitution at the pool. Stuff like. Yeah, one of the stories that we heard was that there was actually a prostitute that was arrested because she was soliciting a 13-year-old kid. It's like, damn, bitch. How hard up was she for money that she was going after a 13-year-old?
How you know that kid wasn't saving up all summer for that?
I knew the area. Wasn't a good, nice place.
Are you saying he knew her rates? It wasn't that expensive?
No, I'm saying that this was probably a crack whore with, so not very high standards if you were taking her up on the offer to begin with.
What the hell did I just miss?
One of the barbecue or Bob brought up about horror stories that lifeguards have or goofy stories that I was.
He said horror, not whore.
I was gonna say horror or
Hold
horror.
on.
Yeah, he was talking about his crack work.
No, I was talking about some of the stories we heard from that was going on in
Rich
some
used
of
to
the
be a
other
pimp.
pools in this city. Yeah, the one pool apparently had lots of prostitutes and drug dealers in the area.
It would make perfect sense
Apparently.
if the lifeguard was the pimp. He keeps an eye on everything.
Shit, wouldn't
And
surprise
then
me.
when somebody doesn't pay, magically they drown.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Now the worst part, since I was already on the city payroll, was after the flooding that happened after the blizzard in '92 happened to pull bodies out of the Allegheny and Ohio rivers. That wasn't fun. But I've told that story before. Bunch of mostly homeless people that were sleeping on the parking wharfs on the Monongahela and Allegheny River. The flood hit and they got washed off. That was the end of them. At that point, probably never even knew what hit them. The best part was all the cars that were in the water. People were told not to park there because there's a potential for heavy flooding coming because of all the snow melting. People parked there anyway, and then were bitching because their car got washed away. It's like, your own damn fault, stupid. They tried suing the city for it. It's like, we gave you people plenty of warning not to park your cars there. You did it anyway. And all those claims got thrown out of court. And it wasn't the only time that happened. It happened again in '96 when there was another major blizzard and the snow melted.
You'd think they'd learn.
You would think that, right?
People just aren't as smart as they ought to be.
Well, it's like along the Allegheny River. I mean, not the Allegheny, the Ohio River. There's a bunch of houses that were right there along the shoreline, right? Every spring, the Ohio River floods. Guess what happens to all these houses that are right there on the shoreline? They all get flooded. They got pissed off when FEMA canceled all their flood insurance policies back in the 90s because they got tired of paying out on them year after year after year after year.
What is wrong with those people? Like, just move your entire house and get on with life. Like, geez.
Take the money FEMA gave you and buy a new house, because FEMA flood insurance paid out pretty good back then. You could afford to buy a new house. These people would just repair the damage and stay there, and then next year have the same thing happen again.
I don't know. I've never known insurance to pay out that good.
Well, flood
Maybe,
insurance,
but
flood insurance does, or at
I
least it
assume they
did.
probably just made repairs, put the money in their pocket, and figure they'd do it again.
Yep, that's basically what the FEMA was figuring that they were doing, was take, instead of, because FEMA paid you out on flood insurance enough to where you could buy a new house, because flood damage can ruin the house. Period. I'm sure you know, working in as a contractor and everything. And these people, they would just repair the superficial damage that was done, and next year, here comes the floods again. A lot of that flood insurance money was probably going into their bank account and not being used for what it was supposed to be for. But that was their right, I guess, to do that if they wanted to do it. But FEMA will say, you're not going to use we're tired of paying you people every year. Foss said I was afraid of Corn Pop. Corn Pop would have been at the pool that I wasn't at, the one with all the drug dealers and prostitutes and stuff. Would have been the pool Corn Pop would have been at, trying to save all those kids from in case Joe Biden showed up. Remember, the moral of that story is that Corn Pop was actually the good guy.
Supposedly, they had like the largest pool, I think, in America here years and years ago. I don't know how long ago, 50 years ago, something like that. But I've seen some photos, and the place looks like it's bigger than a football field. It was round and had slides, all types of stuff. There was like literally thousands of people at this place. Apparently, I think it was built by like EJ, IBM, or what's the other one around here? What is it? George F. Johnson. They basically made all the cities around here in this area. And there's a bunch that connect off from each other, and different people kind of, back when companies cared about people and stuff, and would put you up in a house or give you a house or whatnot, and all that type of stuff. So,
is that the pool where like a bunch of politicians and stuff would have their picture taken at?
I'm not sure. I know it was pretty famous because there's pictures and stuff. I wish I knew the name of it. Obviously it helps so people could research it, but that was pretty cool though. Like seeing the pictures, like I've never seen something like that. It's a shame that we don't have something like that, nowadays. I'm sure the maintenance and upkeep would just be ridiculous, the cost of something like that, but it was definitely a big meeting area and something people would remember. So seems like we lost a lot of cool stuff over the years.
Yeah, that tends to happen. things go away and they don't bring them back. What have you.
You know, so freaking lawyers and attorneys, like one person gets hurt, you know, we can't have alarm darts anymore. You know what I mean? Well, you know, if you're not an idiot throwing them at each other, it's not a problem. It's natural
Right.
selection. Like, come on.
Yeah, whatever happened to natural selection? Survival of the fittest. If you're too damn stupid not to realize you shouldn't be throwing lawn darts at each other, have at it.
Some of those people, we don't need having children and carrying on the traditions of that. So, yeah, maybe that's why we got some of the problems we got now.
Yeah. Participation trophies and warning labels on McDonald's coffee. If you can't figure out a cup of coffee's hot,
Yeah, I wonder if there's a warning label on iced coffee, because I just had one and I threw it out already, but I'm curious. I wonder if I
Yeah,
could say
it-
I froze myself or something. Yeah.
probably, if there is, it probably says it's been known by the state of California to cause cancer.
Get a couple $1 million real quick.
The big problem has become that a lot of these people who would be picked off by natural selection weren't picked off before they could start voting, and then they're like, hey, we need the government to protect us. The government went, that's a great idea. And then there's just more and more now.
As Faust says, lawn darts was a rite of passage.
Could be. I've still got a set. We play them once in a while, but we've always done it where we just stand on one side with a circle on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I guess initially it was set up like horseshoes, but even horseshoes, you don't like stand right over the pit. You take a couple steps back, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm sure people have been clocked with horseshoes by idiots throwing them or whatever, or people with a bad aim. But yeah, like they're not banned, so I don't see the problem. But anyway, like I said, we've always just thrown in one direction, you know, with us on the other, and it's never really been a problem. So you can even have two teams set up that way. So
yeah,
roulette was always fun.
I have seen what they called safety horseshoes, and this was an iron horseshoe with hard rubber around the outside. But those were supposed to be safe. That's probably going to hurt just as much as if you got hit with the standard horseshoe.
And if it's rubber, it might bounce further, like hit the stake and actually bounce off a little bit. Yeah, ricochet, stuff like that.
Yeah. Have you seen the new style lawn darts where they got like that rubber tip that there's no way they're sticking in the ground? There's a reason why there was a metal point on lawn darts.
Anybody else think about just getting a metal lathe and making your own lawn darts?
Nah, like I said, I still got a set.
You lucky son of a gun.
But I don't think I'd go through all that to get a set. I mean, I'd maybe just search around garage sales. So yeah, the set I have is old. It's like an original old set. So one of the rings is busted now because it's dry rotted. You know, it's like a thin white plastic tube kind of deal, and with a little insert that, you know, you turn it and slide it on the insert to create the circle, but it's all dry rotted and stuff. So have to come up with different rings pretty soon, but the darts themselves still hold up fine. Like no problems at all. The fins still slide like they're supposed to, and everything nice and easy. So like they're pretty much indestructible, you know, if you using them for the game. I mean, I guess if you were throwing them in concrete or something, you could probably break them. But
so instead, just an idea, instead of playing lawn darts with the, you know, circles and everything, just make it like bocce ball. and whoever gets closest to the pinball with their lawn dart wins.
Yeah, do something like that. Or just drop a paper plate on the ground and whoever hits the paper plate,
Just make a circle out of rope.
whatever. I was gonna use PEX tubing and just make
There you
another
go.
circle, That's like dirt cheap. Well, free for me, but basically dirt cheap for the average person.
Yeah,
Then he's
real
going to
quick.
use his cement mixer / pipe bender to form it.
Real quick, Ron to A Matters had to take off. He's got to go fix his daughter's air conditioning unit. So have fun with that.
I hope the air conditioner isn't in a car.
Oh, God. Anyway, we need to start wrapping this up anyway. You going to say something, Rob?
No, go ahead.
Should even wrap it up if you're in a car. Just saying.
Yeah, wrap
Always
it
good
in
to wrap
foil.
it up.
Just wrap the air conditioner in foil. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Perfect.
We got to start wrapping this up. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. So, Rob, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, I was never here. Got nothing to do with the conversations that took place here. And if anybody says I was, I'll just say I was hacked. Other than that, have a great night and eat a salad.
All the conversations were your fault, Rob. Night Strike ain't here, so we got to blame you.
No, blame it on the rain.
You're not Millie Vanilli. God, why do I know that?
Because you love stuff like that and Ice Ice Baby.
Not hardly. All right, what about you, Giz?
Well, I guess I was here. Let's see. Wednesday night, my members only chat 8 p.m. Friday night's Foul Territory at 9:00 p.m. Make sure and subscribe to this guy, Rich White. If you're not already subscribed, you don't know what you're missing. Click on that subscribe button, and then you can get signed up for anything and everything that comes from this channel. And it's wonderful. So do it. If you don't, you're a loser. Anyway, thanks for having me.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for jumping on. How about you, Barbecue?
I'd just like to promote Justin Grimm. He's putting out some content. Met him at Thunder on the Prairie. Great dude. Can't say enough nice things about him. He's probably too nice for any of us to actually be referencing. People, the guilty by association thing, going to drag him down, but that's all right. Good dude. Check out his channel. Hit that subscribe button for him. Like Gary said, if you don't do it, you're a loser. I'd also like to say, go subscribe to Squibload. He's feeling lonely over there. I heard he hasn't been getting a lot of subs, and it's really affecting him. Remember to leave a comment on his videos saying that cash is king. The best cars are used cars, and that he needs to eat more salads.
Yes to all of that.
Uh-huh. And Gizzard threw out the link to Justin Grimm's channel. So, yeah, go over there and check him out for sure. And once again, I want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in the chat watching or who may watch in the replay. Hope everybody had a nice day today. Nothing bad happened or anything, because strange things seem to happen. But anyway, we'll bid y'all a good night, and we will catch y'all next week. Throw out your catchphrases or whatever.
Give him the bird.
Eat
Well,
a salad.
Oh, he stole yours, Rob. All right. Good night,
Adios,
everybody.
Felicio.
May the
Listen up,
sports
brother.
be with you.
I just came here to say one thing. The Unloaded Media Channel is having a 500 subscriber giveaway. Once he hits 500 subscribers, there's going to be a Smoky Mountain Knife Force swag bag given away and other prizes. For more information, check the details down in the description. Oh, yeah!